Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me closely. Life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you demand of yourself every single day. Success isn't luck. It's not magic. It's a set of habits repeated daily that create unstoppable momentum. So today, I want to give you 7 daily habits that will turn you into a force of nature. Someone who doesn't just dream, but dominates. Someone who doesn't just talk, but takes action. Someone who cannot be stopped. Habit funding prime your mind every morning. The first thing you do each day sets the tone for your life. Don't wake up and reach for your phone. Don't start by scrolling through someone else's story. Write your own. Start with gratitude. Start with vision. Start with breath. Train your mind to feel alive before the world tells you what to think. Your mornings build your destiny. Your morning is the foundation of your entire day. The moment you open your eyes, you are setting the tone for everything that follows. Most people start their day in reaction. They grab their phone, they check messages, they look at other people's lives before even connecting with their own purpose. That's why they feel tired, anxious, and unmotivated before the day even begins. If you want to become unstoppable, you must prime your mind before the world has a chance to distract it. You must own your mornings with intention, energy, and clarity. Because when you win the morning, you win the day. The first few minutes after you wake up are sacred. That's when your subconscious is most open, when your mind is most impressionable. If you feed it chaos, you'll live in chaos. But if you feed it gratitude, strength, and vision, you'll live with power. Start each morning by connecting with what's good. Feel it deeply. Don't just say you're grateful. See it, hear it, feel it in your heart. Gratitude turns fear into faith and scarcity into abundance. When you start your day by feeling blessed, you train your brain to notice opportunities instead of obstacles. Then visualize your vision with absolute certainty. Picture the life you are building, not the life you're escaping. See yourself already living it. See the success, the confidence, the joy, the freedom. Feel what it's like to be there, to have already achieved it. The mind doesn't know the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's real. When you repeatedly imagine your future with emotional intensity, you create a mental blueprint that your brain begins to chase. You start aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions toward that reality. Your mornings must become a ritual of power. Create a routine that activates every part of your mind, body, and soul. This might mean meditation, deep breathing, affirmations, journaling, movement, or prayer. It's not about what others do. It's about what connects you to your highest state. The key is consistency. A powerful morning routine practiced daily will rewire your mind for focus and resilience. Even 10 minutes of intentional focus can shift your entire state and elevate your energy for hours. Your physiology plays a crucial role. Before you think, move. Stand tall, breathe deeply, stretch, or take a cold shower. Get your blood flowing. Energy is not something you wait for. It's something you create. The body is the fastest way to change your emotions. When you change your posture, your breathing, your facial expression, your energy transforms instantly. You can't feel weak when your body is in a powerful stance. You can't feel defeated when you're moving like a winner. Once your body and mind are aligned, set your intentions for the day. Ask yourself powerful questions. What am I committed to today? Who do I choose to be? What outcome will make today extraordinary? Write them down, feel the emotion behind them, and make a silent promise to yourself that you will live this day with purpose. Clarity creates focus, and focus builds momentum. When you know what matters, distractions lose their power over you. Prime your mind with thoughts that empower, not limit. And most people allow negative thoughts to take control because they don't consciously direct their focus. You must become the commander of your mind. Replace can't with I will. Replace I'm tired with I'm ready. Replace I hope with I decide. Your language creates your state, and your state determines your performance. Morning priming is not just about feeling good. It's about training your nervous system to operate from strength, not survival. This habit, when done daily, becomes your armor. No matter what happens later in the day, stress, setbacks, uncertainty. You will already be centered, already focused, already strong, because you built your emotional foundation before the world tested it. When others react to life, you'll respond with clarity and power simply because you took the time each morning to condition your mind for greatness. Habit 20, move with power. Your body is the engine of your life. Motion creates emotion. When you move, you generate energy, and energy fuels confidence. Whether it's a workout, a run, or a powerful routine, get your body into peak state, because when your body is strong, your mind follows. Your body is the gateway to your power. When you move your body with energy, your mind begins to follow. Most people underestimate how deeply their physical state affects their emotions, their focus, and their confidence. They wait to feel motivated before they move, not realizing that movement is what creates motivation. You can't sit still, scroll endlessly, and expect to feel alive. The human body was designed to move, to express, to release energy and build strength through motion. The way you use your body determines the way you experience life. When you move with power, you awaken something inside you that words alone can't reach. Your physiology changes your psychology instantly. If you've ever noticed how your mood shifts after a workout or a run, you've experienced it. The fatigue disappears, the fog clears, and suddenly you feel unstoppable. That's not an accident. It's biology. The moment your heart rate rises and oxygen floods your system, your brain starts producing endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin. These chemicals create confidence, focus, and drive. Movement literally changes your state at the chemical level. Every single day, you must give your body the chance to express its strength. It doesn't matter what form it takes. Lifting weights, running, dancing, yoga, boxing, walking. What matters is that you connect your body to your purpose. When your body feels alive, your mind cannot feel defeated. You create momentum in your physiology before you even start your tasks. Energy doesn't come from coffee or motivation videos. Energy comes from alignment between body, mind, and mission. Your posture alone can shift how you feel in seconds. Stand tall, shoulders back, chin up, deep breath in. In that single moment, you're signaling to your brain, I am ready. Confidence is not an emotion you wait for. It's a pattern you create. The way you breathe, the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, all of it communicates to your nervous system whether you are in control or in danger. Most people slump, sigh, and breathe shallowly, and then wonder why they feel weak. When you train your body to stand like a champion, your brain begins to believe it. There will be days when you don't feel like moving. Those are the days it matters most, because motion is the antidote to stagnation. When you feel low, get up. When you feel tired, stretch. When your mind is clouded, move your body until it clears. Don't negotiate with your feelings. Use your body to shift them. Winners don't wait for the perfect mood. They use their physical energy to create it. You can't think your way into action, but you can act your way into a new state of mind. Movement builds discipline. Every rep, every step, every drop of sweat is a message to yourself that you keep promises. Each time you push through resistance, you're training your brain to overcome obstacles in other areas of life. The discipline you build in your body becomes the foundation of your mental toughness. You start realizing that pain is temporary, but strength is permanent. That every challenge faced physically mirrors the challenges faced mentally. This is why every day should include a moment where you consciously activate your energy. Even a few minutes of intense movement can reset your entire emotional state. Jump, stretch, breathe, shake off the tension. It's not about fitness. It's about focus. You are igniting the fire that will carry you through the day. People who master their energy master their outcomes because they can access power on command. Your body is your first tool for transformation. When you take care of it, when you use it with intention, when you treat it as the vessel of your potential, you unlock a level of performance that few ever experience. You stop dragging yourself through life and start charging through it with vitality and force. Movement becomes your ritual for power, a physical declaration that you are alive, capable, and ready for whatever the day demands. A habit 3Z. Speak into your future. Every word you say is either building you up or tearing you down. Stop saying you can't. Stop saying you're tired. Start speaking the language of certainty. I will, I can, I must. Reprogram your subconscious with words of strength, because the way you speak becomes the way you live. The words you speak shape the world you live in. Every sentence you say to yourself and others plants a seed in your subconscious mind. Over time, those seeds grow into beliefs, and those beliefs control how you act, how you feel, and what you attract. Most people don't realize how much power their language holds. They speak casually, complain frequently, doubt habitually, and then wonder why their lives feel limited. Your words are programming your future, whether you mean them to or not. If you want to become unstoppable, you must speak into your future with intention, power, and conviction. What you say after I am is one of the most important decisions you make every day. When you say I am tired, your body responds. When you say I am confident, your energy shifts. The subconscious doesn't filter or argue. It accepts your words as truth. That's why it's not enough to think positively. You must speak powerfully. The vibration of your voice amplifies belief. When you hear yourself speak strength, your brain begins to anchor that as identity. You're not just saying words, you're declaring who you are becoming. Most people sabotage themselves through unconscious language. And they say things like, I can't, I'm not good enough, it's too hard, or I always fail. Each time they do, they reinforce limitation. They are hypnotizing themselves into mediocrity. To change your results, you must change your vocabulary. Eliminate weak words from your speech. Replace I can't with I will find a way. Replace I hope with I decide. Replace with I commit. The moment you shift your language, you shift your reality, because your mind starts aligning with the new identity you're speaking. Your internal dialogue matters even more than your external one. The voice in your head is the narrator of your life. You can't silence it, but you can train it. Start catching the moments when you speak doubt internally. Interrupt the pattern and replace it with empowerment. When you hear yourself thinking, I don't know if I can do this, stop and say out loud, I am capable. I am learning and I will figure it out. Every time you do this, you're rewiring your mental circuits. You're building a new language of power. Your words are commands to your nervous system. When you speak energy, you feel energy. When you speak confidence, you feel confidence. Athletes, performers, and leaders all use affirmations not as wishful thinking, but as psychological conditioning. They repeat phrases that anchor their best state. I've got this. I was born for this. Nothing can stop me. The repetition imprints belief until it becomes automatic. You don't need to wait for evidence to speak powerfully. You speak powerfully to create evidence. There's also power in the tone and emotion behind your words. And saying, I can do this in a whisper won't convince your brain. Say it with energy, with volume, with certainty. And emotion is the fuel that drives language into your subconscious. Speak like someone who means it, and your physiology will respond. Your shoulders will square. Your heartbeat will rise. Your confidence will activate. You are literally commanding your entire system to align with your words. The words you speak to others are just as critical. When you talk with people, use language that uplifts and empowers. Don't gossip. Don't criticize. Don't reinforce negativity. Every time you speak strength into someone else, you strengthen yourself. The words you give away are the words that return to you. When you become a voice of belief, encouragement, and positivity, your own energy expands. Every day, be intentional about your language. Speak what you want, not what you fear. Talk about possibilities, not problems. When you catch yourself using limiting words, correct them immediately. Over time, your language becomes your identity, and your identity becomes your destiny. The people who speak power, life power, because their words keep their mind in a constant state of creation rather than reaction, habit forzy. Attack your biggest priority. Don't get lost in business. Don't drown in small tasks. Every day, choose the one thing that moves your life forward the fastest and crush it. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Attack it with intensity. One focused win every day is how empires are built. Every day brings you hundreds of tasks, messages, distractions, and demands. Most people spend their days reacting to everything that comes their way, jumping from one small thing to another without ever touching what truly matters. That's why they feel exhausted but not accomplished. The secret to momentum and achievement lies in mastering focus. You must learn to attack your biggest priority every single day, not your easiest task, not your most urgent email, but the one thing that moves your life, business, or dream forward. This habit separates the average from the extraordinary because greatness comes from consistent focus on what counts most. The mind loves to stay busy, and business can feel productive, but it's often a disguise for avoidance. We scroll, we organize, we multitask, but deep down, we know we're avoiding the one hard thing that would actually make a difference. That big call, that workout, that project, that decision, it's always waiting. To become unstoppable, you must break that pattern. Every morning, identify your single most important mission for the day. The question to ask is simple. If I could only accomplish one thing today that would make everything else easier or unnecessary, what would that be? Once you have the answer, attack it with full force. The mind resists what matters most because that's where growth happens. Growth triggers fear, and fear seeks comfort. But comfort kills progress. When you face the task that scares you or stretches you, you're stepping into the space where transformation happens. The key is to take action before hesitation has time to speak. Momentum is built in the first few seconds of decision. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for perfect timing. The moment you decide, move. When you move first, clarity follows. Discipline your environment to support your focus. Turn off notifications, silence distractions, close unnecessary tabs, and create a space where your attention belongs only to your mission. Multitasking divides your power. Focus multiplies it. You can't do 5 things with full energy, but you can do one thing with complete intensity. And that intensity changes everything. Even 90 minutes of uninterrupted focus can create more progress than an entire day of scattered effort. Start each work session with intention. Set a timer, decide what success looks like for that session, and give yourself permission to go all in. Don't stop to check results. Don't pause to evaluate. Just immerse yourself fully in the process. The mind performs at its best when it's fully engaged, not when it's half distracted by what's next. You'll be amazed how much energy you unlock when you remove the friction of indecision and give yourself a clear target. When you attack your biggest priority early in the day, you create psychological momentum that fuels the rest of your actions. You feel powerful, productive, and in control. That energy spills into everything else you do. On the other hand, when you postpone your priority, it drains your energy in the background all day. You carry the weight of it mentally, thinking about it, avoiding it, and feeling guilty about not doing it. The fastest way to free your mind is to finish what matters first. There's also an emotional reward that comes from completing something significant. Progress creates pride. Pride creates motivation. Motivation drives more action. It becomes a loop of momentum. Each day that you complete your biggest priority, you reinforce a powerful identity, the identity of someone who executes. You stop identifying as someone who tries and start seeing yourself as someone who gets it done. That shift in self-image is what turns effort into excellence. Every successful person you admire practices this principle in their own way. They know they can't do everything, so they focus on the few things that truly move the needle. They live by priorities, not by pressures. You have to train yourself to do the same. Each day is a battle between distraction and direction. And the person who wins that battle consistently becomes unstoppable. When you direct all your energy toward what truly matters, the results begin to compound, and soon your progress becomes impossible to ignore. Habit 50, feed your growth. If you're not growing, you're dying. Read, listen, learn, feed your mind with ideas that expand you, challenge you, stretch you. Growth is oxygen for the soul. Make learning as essential as eating and drinking and watch your potential explode. Growth is the oxygen of success. The moment you stop learning, you start declining, Every day that passes without feeding your mind is a day your potential shrinks. The world around you is changing constantly, and if you're not evolving with it, you're falling behind. You can't expect new results from old thinking. To become unstoppable, you must make personal growth a daily ritual. It's not something you do when you have time. It's something you prioritize no matter what. The people who rise to the top in any field are those who are obsessed with learning, who treat knowledge like fuel and growth like a lifestyle. Every morning, feed your mind before you feed your body. Read something that challenges you. Listen to something that inspires you. Watch something that teaches you. Even 15 minutes of intentional learning every day can reshape your entire mindset. Your mind is like a muscle. It gets stronger the more you use it. Most people spend hours feeding their distractions, but give only minutes to their development. They consume endless entertainment, but starve their potential. You must reverse that pattern. Consume content that stretches your thinking, that forces you to question what you believe and push past your limits. Don't just collect information, apply it. Knowledge without action is useless. When you learn something new, use it immediately. Integrate it into your behavior, your work, your communication, your leadership. Growth happens not when you know more, but when you do more with what you know. Every time you act on a new insight, you carve a new pathway in your brain. Over time, this becomes who you are, a person who learns fast, adapts fast, and executes faster than anyone else. Growth also comes from discomfort. If everything you're doing feels easy, you're not growing, you're repeating. Real growth demands challenge. It requires you to step into situations where you're not the expert, where you might fail, where you feel the stretch. That's the space where transformation happens. Growth feels awkward, it feels uncertain, but that's the proof it's working. The goal isn't to stay comfortable, the goal is to become capable of more. Surround yourself with people who inspire growth. Spend time with those who talk about ideas, not people. Listen to mentors, coaches, and leaders who are living at the level you want to reach. Their mindset, habits, and standards will rub off on you. Proximity is power. When you immerse yourself in an environment of learning and ambition, you automatically elevate your own standards. You start thinking bigger, acting bolder, and demanding more from yourself. Protect your growth time fiercely. Don't let the noise of the world steal it from you. Create a daily routine where you deliberately feed your mind with purpose. It might be reading a few pages of a powerful book, journaling about what you learned, or reflecting on what experiences taught you that day. Consistency is what compounds. A few minutes every day over time will transform you more than hours of random effort once in a while. Growth isn't just intellectual, it's emotional, spiritual, and practical. Learn how to manage your emotions, how to communicate effectively, how to lead with empathy, how to stay calm under pressure. These skills are what make you adaptable and resilient. The world doesn't reward those who know the most. It rewards those who can learn, unlearn, and relearn faster than everyone else. The hunger to grow must become part of who you are. It's not about competing with others. It's about becoming more than who you were yesterday. Every book you read, every podcast you listen to, every challenge you embrace adds another layer to your strength. Over time, you start to notice that things that once scared you now excite you. Things that once felt impossible now feel inevitable because growth has expanded your capacity to handle life with power and confidence. Habit 6E, surround yourself with fire. You become like the people you spend the most time with. If you hang around with doubters, you'll doubt yourself. If you surround yourself with warriors, you'll rise like a warrior. Build a circle of influence that pulls you forward, not drags you down. Energy is contagious. Choose wisely who you let near your fire. The people you surround yourself with shape the standards you live by. Human beings are emotional mirrors. We reflect the energy, attitude, and habits of those closest to us. If you spend time around people who complain, you start to complain. If you surround yourself with people who push limits, you start to expand yours. That's why becoming unstoppable isn't just about what you do alone. It's about who you allow into your circle. You can't fly with eagles if you keep walking with chickens. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. Even the most disciplined mind can be weakened by constant negativity, and even an uncertain heart can rise when surrounded by belief. Look at your circle and ask yourself a hard question. Does this group fuel my fire or drain it? Energy is contagious. If you're around people who settle for less, you'll unconsciously start lowering your standards. But if you're around people who live with passion, hunger, and purpose, you'll start demanding more from yourself. You rise to the level of those you associate with. Average people fear standing out, but unstoppable people fear blending in. They choose to build a circle that challenges them, that makes them uncomfortable in the best way, that forces them to grow beyond what they thought was possible. Surround yourself with people who tell you the truth, not what you want to hear. Growth doesn't come from being flattered. It comes from being held accountable. The best relationships are the ones that demand your best self to show up. You need people who call you out when you're slipping, who remind you of your potential when you forget it, who won't let you quit when things get hard. These are your mirrors, your motivators, your fuel. Iron sharpens iron, and you can't stay sharp around dull energy. Your circle should include different kinds of energy. Mentors who are ahead of you, peers who are beside you, and students who are learning from you. Mentors pull you upward with wisdom and experience. Peers challenge you through competition and collaboration. Students remind you to stay grounded and grateful by giving back what you've learned. This balance keeps your energy dynamic and your perspective fresh. Each level teaches you something valuable, and together they create a powerful ecosystem of growth. Sometimes the hardest part of growth is outgrowing people. Not everyone will understand your hunger. Some will judge it, mock it, or try to tone it down because it makes them uncomfortable. You can love people and still choose distance. Protecting your energy doesn't mean cutting people off with anger. It means choosing proximity with intention. And you can still care about someone without giving them front row access to your dreams. The people in your inner circle should see your potential as clearly as you do. Surround yourself with energy that reminds you of who you want to become. Go where ambition lives. Conferences, mastermind groups, fitness communities, creative circles. Anywhere that people are chasing something bigger. The right environment doesn't just inspire you, it holds you accountable to your own greatness. When you see others grinding, winning, creating, you can't help but elevate your own standards. It creates a ripple effect of momentum. Be the kind of person others want in their circle too. Bring energy, bring encouragement, bring fire. Don't just take motivation, create it. Be the one who celebrates others' success, who uplifts, who listens, who adds value. The more value you bring, the more valuable people you attract. Like energy attracts like energy. When you live with enthusiasm and integrity, the right people will be drawn to you naturally because they can feel your authenticity and drive. Your circle will either multiply your energy or divide it. Choose the ones who make you feel unstoppable, who push you toward action, who believe in your mission as if it were their own. Life is too short to explain your vision to those committed to misunderstanding it. Build your environment like a fortress of belief, passion, and progress, and it will become the foundation that sustains your unstoppable growth. The Habit 7 say celebrate progress, not perfection. Perfection is a lie. Progress is real. Every step forward matters. Celebrate your wins, big or small, because momentum is built by recognition. When you acknowledge your progress, you train your brain to chase more. And before you know it, you've built unstoppable momentum. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Most people never reach their full potential because they're too busy trying to be flawless instead of fearless. They wait until everything is perfect. The timing, the plan, the skill, the confidence. And while they wait, life moves on without them. Progress doesn't come from perfection. It comes from consistent movement. Every step forward, no matter how small, builds momentum. The key to becoming unstoppable is learning to celebrate that momentum, to recognize your growth, and to appreciate the process as much as the result. Every great achiever started messy. Every champion began uncertain. Every master was once a beginner fumbling through the basics. The difference between those who succeed and those who stall is that the successful ones kept going when it wasn't perfect. They didn't let mistakes define them. They let them refine them. They understood that progress compounds over time. That small victories stack into unstoppable momentum. When you start focusing on how far you've come instead of how far you have to go, you fuel your drive to keep going. Celebrating progress rewires your brain. It triggers the release of dopamine, the chemical of motivation and reward. Each time you acknowledge a win, no matter how minor, you reinforce the behavior that created it. This is how habits solidify and how belief strengthens. When you ignore your progress because it's not perfect enough, you train your brain to associate effort with disappointment. But when you celebrate your effort, you train your brain to crave growth. You start building a positive feedback loop that keeps you moving forward naturally. You must redefine what winning looks like. Winning isn't about flawless execution. It's about consistent advancement. It's about showing up, giving your best for that day, and learning from whatever comes. Some days you'll crush it. Other days you'll stumble, but both count because both move you forward. The pursuit of perfection breeds paralysis. The pursuit of progress breeds mastery. When you focus on progress, you stop judging yourself and start improving yourself. Take time each day to reflect on what went right. Write it down, speak it out loud, or just take a quiet moment to acknowledge it. Maybe you stayed consistent with your habits. Maybe you handled a challenge with more patience. Maybe you made a bold decision you used to avoid. These moments matter because they represent growth. You can't see transformation in the mirror every day, but it's happening beneath the surface, and celebrating it keeps you emotionally connected to your journey. Don't compare your progress to anyone else's. Everyone's pace is different because everyone's path is different. Comparison steals your joy and replaces it with self-doubt. The only person you should compete with is the version of you from yesterday. Ask yourself, am I growing? Am I learning? Am I moving forward? If the answer is yes, and then you're winning. Progress isn't linear. It's full of highs and lows, breakthroughs and breakdowns. What matters is that you stay in motion. Growth requires patience. You can't rush greatness. You can't microwave mastery. You have to embrace the grind, the repetition, the subtle improvements that no one else sees. That's where character is built. That's where confidence is earned. Every small improvement is a brick in the foundation of your future success. When you appreciate those bricks, you build faster, stronger, and with more joy. When you celebrate progress, you create emotional fuel. You start to feel proud, inspired, and capable. That energy makes you show up again tomorrow. The habit of recognizing progress keeps your motivation alive through the toughest seasons. Because progress reminds you that your effort matters, that your growth is real, and that every step forward is proof that you're becoming the unstoppable version of yourself one day, one action, one win at a time. So here's the truth. You are capable of so much more than you believe. But the world will only see that version of you when you demand it daily through your habits. Practice these 7 habits every single day, and you won't just live, you'll thrive. You won't just exist, you'll dominate. You won't just survive, you'll become unstoppable. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe.